Good morning, people. Today is Friday, the 22nd of May. I thank you for joining us on this little gig that we're going to try to offer for you. I hope that in the grace of God that your life is good and you're healthy and staying away from germs and doing everything you're supposed to do. And we're telling everybody to stay away from the shore this weekend, so a word to the wise should be sufficient. But I thank you for joining with us today. About a week or two ago, I was telling you I got myself a new phone, and it's right here, and it's one of their smartphones. I've had this for almost a year, and I decided to charge it up. And these are amazing things. My goodness gracious, the update's complete. It's got a nice screen on it and all the other business, and it has all these things that you're supposed to look at when the thing goes on. But then there's a special thing in here, and it's called the apps. And the apps are, when you go into the app thing, what it can do is it can pick up any program that's hooked into the phone through the Wi-Fi and make it a part of your thing. Now, what I did the other day, I thought to myself, you know something? I want to put my bank information on here. So I put TD Bank on here. There it is right there. And I worked on this thing. I put my password in, and I put my the ID in and all the other business. And it came up, and I thought, I called sister. I said, I am so proud of myself because you know how dumb I can be. And I said, I'm not good at this technology stuff, but I said, I got this in. Got the TD Bank in. She said, that's wonderful. So the next day, I thought to myself, let me make sure that this thing is working. So I hooked in, and I put my ID in. I put my password in, and the sign came up and said, wrong ID, wrong password. Now I thought to myself, maybe I just hit the wrong buttons on the screen. So I tried it again, same thing. So I tried it a third time, and it said to me, you're locked out. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you got to call the bank. So I called the bank the other morning at 3:30 in the morning. My waiting time was like 6 to 8 minutes. 20 minutes later, I'm still waiting. Hung up, tried later, eventually got the thing all squared away. But I haven't tried the thing because I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up again. So I didn't do it. But you know what I mean about these apps. Now these things are run on batteries, you know. There's a little battery that you have to charge every couple of days or something, you know, for this machine and all the other business. The battery is the energy source. And the more and more stuff you put in the phone, the stronger the draw on the battery. Begins to like wear it down a little bit. And it's all because of these apps, APPS. And there are thousands of those things. The little kids in school, I mean, they put the shade because they do the games or the others. They can constantly do all that stuff, but they can wear a battery down in like 45 minutes or something with all the stuff that they're doing. Now, I don't plan on doing that. But what happens is the more and more you load stuff into the phone, the more and more of the energy that it draws, and it begins to drain itself. So that's this guy. APPS. But there's another thing that's somewhat related to it, at least in some degree, and instead of APPS, it's abs. ABS. Belly fat. And you know something? I was looking through some old pictures the other day, and I was just maybe 10, 12 years ordained a priest, and I thought to myself, my God, I don't even recognize this person. Look how thin you are. I must have been wearing a size 32 pants. And the last time I checked, I was up to 44. But I've dropped down 2, so I'm down to a 42. But it's all this extra stuff that I just kind of pick up on my body over time. Has to get that way. Age has something to do with it. I think junk food has something to do with it. Snacking stuff, you know. Too many French fries from McDonald's, or too many Oreo cookies, or too much ice cream, or all the other stuff. But you know, we like our sweets. You know, I mean, I'm not a Brussels sprouts person. I don't eat them things. I like asparagus, Brussels sprouts. I'll pass on that business. I want nothing to do with those. I don't like the smell of them things. Squash, zucchinis, all that healthy stuff. I don't like any of that stuff. I'm just basically meat, potatoes, corn, and green beans. That's it. Corn and green beans. But anyhow, over time, you begin to expand yourself. And another person is actually growing out of the front of you. So much so, when you're putting your pants on, you have to look down to over the belly to make sure you're pulling them up right. Belly fat, abs, ABS, abs. There's been so much concern recently about the closures. I was watching yesterday on the news about a guy in Jersey that was going to defy the governor and open up his gym, two of them, because they said being healthy is an essential thing that we need to do in our life. And the gym helps people to be healthy. Well, there's a lot of truth in that. And you can take this to a deeper level and say to yourself, what kind of stuff in my life am I carrying around with me that I've accumulated over the course of years that have just kind of slowed me down and drawn the grace of God out of my life? What kind of things are they? It's bad habits, what it is. I'm not talking about eating. I'm talking about language, style of life, entertainment, pride, jealousy, anger, greed, selfishness, envy, all that moral kind of stuff. What it does, it just kind of slows the grace of God in my life down. And I begin to wear that stuff. And it shortens my life because the grace of God is just being drained out of my soul. What do I do with that? Got to get rid of it. I have to work on it constantly. I have to work on it. And it is indeed a challenge. But if I am determined that I want to be the person that God wants me to be, that I want to be whole as a person, free of those things that drain the life of God out of me and weigh me down, then God's grace can really help me to achieve that. But I need to discipline myself in that. And I've often said the word discipleship and the word discipline is the same word. And the more and more I discipline myself, the more and more I move into discipleship. So if doing this with the phone, putting all these apps on it, can drain the battery down and make things work a little slower, if eating the wrong kind of food in my diet can give me an extended stomach and slow me down so I huff and I puff, then even in the moral vein, if my life does not reflect the goodness of God in everything I say and think and do, then what happens is I'm draining the life of the Lord out of my life. I don't want that to happen. So may the grace of God help you and me in my awareness of this. Help us to discipline ourselves in the right order so that my life is well ordered to God. And the more and more I do that, I will be fit and ready to continue to walk the journey of life with renewed interest and vigor, being an example of God's goodness and grace to others in everything that I say and think and do. Good luck with the diet. God bless you.